On our last episode, we got the interior of our sawmill stained and installed the lighting. On this episode, we're shifting into overdrive. We're going to get the decking down on the platform, we're getting the siding up, we're getting the batten board siding up on the loft, we're building the doors for the loft and installing those, we're installing the metal roofing. Oh my goodness, we got a lot going on. All right, everybody, so as we get back into our sawmill build, we're going to use craft sticks for our decking on our platform, and then we're going to use a couple pieces of HO scale rail for the guides for the sled. So what I used here is some Titebond 3 indoor outdoor wood glue, and I used a paintbrush to apply it, and then I just took a lot of time and started putting down the craft sticks, staggering the joints. I used a straight edge and a couple of clamps to keep everything square as I got started. Okay, so you can see we got kind of the first half of our decking down. I left everything long and ran it wild on both ends. I'll come back and trim that back with the saw and then use the sanding station to get it nice and smooth when I'm all done. Alright guys, so I finished up the decking on the platform. We'll let the glue dry on that before we come back and trim the ends and then sand them flush. So next thing on tap is to work on the batten board siding for the loft. Okay guys, so you can see I went ahead and trimmed back all of those tails on both ends that ran wild, and then I used my sanding station to smooth those out. I just took my time, let the sander do the work. It didn't take very long, but that looks nice and clean. The other thing that we've got done is we've got all of our batten board up on the sides. We're going to end up putting a door here, so I'm going to leave that a little bit loosey-goosey right now until I get the door figured out. The other thing that we've done is I went through and I put craft sticks on all the gables so that when that roofing metal comes over it, it'll look a little bit more finished, a little more polished off. So you can see we got the stain on our batten board siding up on the loft. That turned out pretty cool. That's kind of the look I was going for. So we'll let that set up and then we'll get to work cutting and installing our corrugated metal roofing that we made. Okay guys, so you can see we got our corrugated metal roofing installed on both sides of the roof up on the loft. We ended up using some scrap wood and some clamps just to pin everything down nice and flat until the construction adhesive sets up. Okay, so I finished up the remainder of the corrugated metal roofing installation using the hot glue gun. That is a preferred way of doing it by far. Now I'm going to make a couple more strips of the corrugated metal roofing, rip them down to about 1 inch in length, and then I'm going to put a crease in them so that I can use them for ridge cap. So I'm going to make those now, and then we'll install those with the hot glue gun as well. Okay guys, so we finished up with our corrugated metal roof, making the ridge cap and installing that. I would recommend using a hot glue gun for putting this down. The construction adhesive just didn't seem to work very well. I don't know if maybe that was an old tube or what, but it just didn't seem to work very well. But the hot glue gun worked great, so moving on. Okay guys, so I mocked up some doors for our loft. I just used 1/4 inch plywood again. I think what I'm gonna do is just use these, just trim them out with some Z bracing using the craft sticks, and then we'll get them stained up and installed. Okay, so there's our doors all mocked up. I got the craft stick Z bracing installed. I just used the hot glue gun to attach that. So I'll do a little bit of sanding on these real quick and then use some stain to get them to match color-wise with the rest of the loft. So I got the doors for the loft finished up and installed temporarily. I'm gonna get some hinges and install them more permanently. But they're up there right now, and they still provide us access to the on-off switches and battery packs for the lighting, and also to be able to put that Bluetooth speaker up there for adding sound later. So that's going to finish it up for the construction for this video. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to stain the deck on our platform, and then that will finish out this video. Alright guys, that's going to wrap it up for this build video for our series on our sawmill construction project. We got a lot done. We finished off our deck. We got color to that. We got our plank wall completed along the back, and we got color on that. We finished up our batten board siding and door installation up on the loft. We got our metal roofing installed and started with a little bit of the weathering on that. We packed a lot into this video. I hope you guys are liking this as you know, work progresses. In the next video, I think we're going to work on getting the actual saw built, build the sled and get that installed, and work on the log rack. So this thing will start really coming together in the next video. Hope you guys are liking this. If you do, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel to follow along. Thanks for watching. Happy railroading.